Tonight, we meet at an urgent time for our country.
Well, President Obama proposes a $447 billion jobs bill, but is it what America needs to really get back to work? And the big question, I think, also is, will it just escalate the partisan bickering in Washington? Pimco CEO Mohamed El-Erian joins us now with his reaction. Sir, you've been very outspoken on the jobs crisis in this country. You call it a full-blown crisis with far-reaching economic, social, and political consequences. What's your initial reaction from what we heard from President Obama on Thursday evening?
I very much welcome the fact that the administration finally gets it. It realizes that this is a crisis and that something gets done. It's also good to see them move away from what has been a very piecemeal, ad hoc approach to something much more comprehensive and holistic. The issues, Poppy, are twofold. One is, how are we going to pay for this? So there's going to be a lot of anticipation for the fiscal component of this package. And second, you're absolutely right. Can we get enough political unity behind any initiative? But I would argue that there's enough in common in this package that hopefully we can get enough of a convergence to the center. That's going to be absolutely key. I would have gone much deeper in terms of reforms than President Obama went.
You've said ahead of this plan, we need something that will remove the structural impediments to growth. You say you'd go much further. What would you have done that we didn't see from the president? Do you think he held back because he knows the politics of the situation?
So remember, Poppy, we cited 5 areas where you needed to lift structural impediments. And I think all Americans know what they are. They feel it every single day. 1 is housing. 2 is the labor market. 3 is infrastructure. 4 is credit, and 5 is medium-term public finances. Here, President Obama tries to deal with 4 of these 5 issues, but doesn't go as deep as we would have liked. He doesn't go deep enough in housing. So the 4% mortgage refinancing is a good step, but more needs to be done. And on the labor market, we need a major emphasis, Poppy, and I can't stress this enough, a major emphasis on not only helping the long-term unemployed, which is critical, but also retraining, retooling. So I see this as a very promising first step, but an incomplete journey, if you like.
Does Europe's debt crisis that we continue to see play out in global markets, does that impact this at all? Does that almost put more onus on this Congress to get something passed?
Absolutely. Think of a very strong headwind. That is what the U.S. is battling. It has a very strong domestic headwind. It has a very strong external headwind. And what's happening in Europe is making the external headwind even worse. And therefore, Congress has to press forward to overcome these headwinds. If we don't, we will slip into recession. And if we slip into recession, Poppy, climbing out is going to be really difficult.
Even if Congress moves at a very rapid clip, what are we looking at? Possibly something in November at this point in time. I mean, it would be moving very quickly to get something before the end of the year, right? So people's expectations should take that into account.
The critical thing is not to wait too long. So if we slip into next year, Poppy, the political window is going to close because then we're going to be in full election mode. We're already in partial election mode, but we're going to be in full election mode, and no one at that stage is going to compromise. So if we're going to get something done, we have to do it over the next 2 to 3 months.
And paying for it the way the president proposed, is that the right solution?
I think we have to wait till September 19th to see what the president is thinking of. I don't think you can put the onus fully on the supercommittee. The supercommittee has enough to do already. I think the president has to come forward and explain how he would reconcile medium-term fiscal sustainability with actions today to make sure we don't slip into recession.